I believe anybody can give accurate tarot reading if you read in this way. This is part of online course material I offer. In this short video, you will see how to read the card in a very logical way. The secret of logic. So in this section, I'm going to show you exactly how I use the cards. So the card we use is same old Rider-Waite, the very traditional one. And that describes everyday situation very well. So we don't need anything more than Rider-Waite card. But the way we use the card is slightly different. It's almost like impossible how people never ever found out this way before. It is really amazing. And my teacher Jackie, she was told by her guide, the invisible guide, to do this way. And that's how she started reading in this way. And this way totally is amazing. You would not believe the quality, you would not believe the depth of this way of reading. It's totally amazing, and you will see what I mean by that. So let's start with the traditional way of reading, and it's the past and present future, the 3-card position. It's a very useful one, and let's start. But to be really honest with you, I kind of struggle with these 3 cards right in front of me because I haven't been doing this kind of reading for many years. So in the past, something has started and very happy, very joyous. It was beautiful start. At the present, much more in control. So maybe the status become a little bit higher and has to be in charge of everything and have to control things around him in the present, at the present. If he continues as he is, for the future, he may want somebody's help because the devil can be the relationship with others, or he would want something more in his life. He probably wants something more. It's a desire card too. So he would feel possibly with some other people involvement and the desires involved. So this is how much I can read, and I can tell you I am so useless for reading just a simple one single card now. And I admire people can actually read it through. But if there is a person in front of you, it can be different because you actually pick up the energy from the person. When this kind of card right in front of you without anybody's presence, it can be difficult. Although I started with 3 cards, let's just leave them aside for now. And just bring in the Magician in the middle. The Magician is one of the major arcana. A Magician is a very good card to explain because he's got all these tools right in front of him. So you can see the sword, you can see the wand and cup and pentacles. Those are the elements that all the minor arcana has. So any minor arcana around this Magician have one of those suits in them. The way I was taught by Jackie Byrne 16 years ago, that was the way we put one major arcana and one minor arcana in one position. So it could be any one of those 56 cards to build up the meaning. The traditional way, you only have one, and I don't think there is even 56 variety of it. You can just kind of imagine this way or that. So that Magician could be upside down position, could be the left half of the meaning, and normal position could be the right half of the meaning. In that way, they can kind of eliminate the possibility of left or right or top or bottom but you can never get into 360-degree angle, which one you pick. Can you see the difference? So this is how we work on with the card. So out of 56 cards, I just pick one of the cards, which is 6 of Wands. It's a victory card. And as a magician is the card of it's up to him, and also it's his choice. So this combination makes the meaning of victory is in your hand. Now different combination with 10 of the Wands. You can see he looks very exhausting. He is hardworking. He takes so much responsibility. So the card combination really means that you are making your life hard. You are hard on yourself. Now with 5 of Pentacles, you can see this card is not everybody's favorite. It's losing the job and having not much money or the physical issues or disease or whatever. But with Magician, it doesn't look that bad if it is about the job. You can leave your job. I think you're quite clear with these examples, but I'm going to show you in a slightly different way here. So I see the card as energy. So energy for me is like a round bubble. And this bubble of Magician can be merged with any other energy. And this Magician energies merge into the victory. It's just to make a different shade of the color. That part, it shows A. That is the actual energy of these two cards together. But when we read a card, of course that A is also the round shape of it. It's like a moon looking from this way or the other way. It can be slightly different. How do we see the difference? How we pick where? Then it comes the positioning. So positioning can be advice, can be the life pattern, can be the past, can be the future, can be the things to end. It's better to end. Can be the limitation, can be anything. And depending on that position, the meaning can look like changing, can be sounding like changing. For example, we talk about that in C. So if the C is in advice place, that means that you better leave the job. It's your choice. Come on, it's time to leave the job, as advice. If this is in the past, it was his choice to leave the job. It was very, very clear. If in the future, he had a choice to leave the job. Okay, and if this is a position to end, something to be finished off to get some change, and if that is a position of that, it's actually not in the main reading, it's actually extended reading, then that really means better not to leave the job. Don't leave the job. But the energies are the same. Did you see that? So we are not just picking up because of our intuition. We're picking up that particular energy according to the position, depending on how these energies emerged. That is why it can be so logic. But the difficult case is the world is like everything, and also the court card, which are the people's card, and people's card do not merge into the card in this very small condensed way. It's a little bit more wide. So it's actually a little bit more difficult to read in the people's card. Now I hope you will feel the same, that how do we read it in just looking at these 3 cards. You can imagine the 56 cards. each of them have 56 cards around them. How do we actually pick the one? Now we got combination. You can see the huge difference. We can really zoom into the energy, what they were talking about. So you can now read. In the past, something has started. It's a very spontaneous start, and he was very comfortable. Nothing to be worried about, and everything being kind of looked after. But now, there seems to be different. He had to control everything. And feeling exhausting, actually, the physically exhausting, because doing so much on his own. Doesn't seem to trust anybody, just have to do everything on my own. That kind of feel, and very controlling. If he continues this way in the future, what happens is that not only the physical stress, actually mental stress comes in and want to get away from the mental arguments. So he wants to get away from the stress. He wants somebody to help him. Can you see that? Normally, you could just leave as it is when you do just past, present, and future. But for me, healing part is so important. So I will have to see the potential here. How we can see the difference in the future. How can we change the future? So to change the future, to avoid this future to come, look at now and the past. What is the difference and what you can change? First of all, you need to trust other people, because taking all on his own isn't good for him. You need to trust more people, ask more help, and also be more intuitive rather than trying to be in control. You need to trust something more, bigger scale than yourself. It's kind of egoistic with the emperor's attitude that I am the top, I have to deal with everything, I know everything. You need to let go of those stuff. And also you can see with the Nine of the Cups that he doesn't actually pay much attention to people around them are actually supporting him. So be grateful for all the situation that it's been happened for him, and give thanks to all the people around you rather than think that it's whatever he made it for himself. Don't be big head in that kind of way. And then you start appreciating other people. You start ask other people to take on some road, so you feel a little bit better, a little bit easier, and you don't need to feel too tight in your body. If you do so, the future will be changing. But of course, those three pairs are not always a case of three pairs come with these three exactly same major arcana. So I will just show you the variation that it could be completely different reading. So with this combination, the particular combination, in the past, something has happened and it's about relationship. It's a very beautiful relationship. You can share everything with him, everything with her. Whatever the relationship, it was really nicely happened, and it was almost like it happened so naturally. You didn't realize how important this relationship was. Now, you can see the emperor trying to cutting away the past. So he is actually trying to cutting away this relationship. Something must have happened in between the past and present, and his thought is, his decision is to cut away the past and don't want to do anything with him or anything with her anymore. And if he continues this way, she continues that way, what will happen in the future is almost like missing this relationship. It could be this particular relationship, but it could be the relationship with others or the closeness with other people when he trying to do something. So I don't know about the future, but you can see something can be changed here. So if you change something here, I would change right now. because I see the very, very little space that he can actually change his mind, because he is trying to cutting away the past right now. If he could just step back a little bit, it make all the change. Can you see that little potential there? So that is a potential, and if he could just bring a little bit more feminine side in him, so rather than being an emperor who decides everything that in the head, I would like to see the little bit of feminine side with empress, because emperor is never good with communicating with other people. Emperor is good with the project, but he is not very good with the people. Empress doesn't care too much about project, but she is very good at communication, and she is very good at dealing with the situations. And I want to see the Empress energy in this Emperor. So Empress believes or have much more intuitive way of dealing with the situation and a little bit more softness in it. So I want to see the importance in the communication, importance in the relationship in him. And by doing so, I think it will change. This is just one of the example and a couple of the example. We can carry on more and more, but this is the way we read. So that, as I said before, the three of the cards, single reading, it's almost impossible to go back with. Once you get to know this way of reading, you don't need to make the story. You don't need to adjust with particular person. You can actually read with other people in front of you, and you can see much more detail of how you can see the potential in it. So how did you find the difference? It is a big difference, and it just narrows down the meaning so much. So the first impression I had was, how could it be possible? Is that really going to be possible in the reality to have that specific position with a specific pair? Mind you, as a full reading, it's a 22 pair, 44 cards around on the table. They all make sense. How could it be possible? Another question I had was that, could it be too hard for the person to accept how it is? Because if you read in one position, in one card, you can actually divert the meaning. If it is getting too negative, you would most likely to just avoid and putting a little bit of cushion around it to make it a little bit soft. But in this way, it's almost impossible. And it's possible to just do the reading without offending the person. That was another question I had. But after 16 years, I think this is the most wonderful way of reading the card.